Welcome in, everyone. I am the corporate crypto bull god, and this is all in the charts. If you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment, and make sure you click that bell icon for all notifications to know when I go live each and every single weekday, guys. Big day for CBG. Raise a glass. Now, I'm not being preemptive, but I am going to declare today. I opened up a very special bottle of wine. It's called Prisoner. And if you're familiar with wines, maybe you are familiar with this wine. It's a red blend. I shall be a prisoner no more. Cheers, everybody. My comments will make more sense in time. That's a really good wine. Oh. You got to seize the opportunity, guys. You got to seize the opportunity. I hope everyone is having a good day. Of course, I did not live stream yesterday for TA Q&A. Today's emphasis will be on TA Q&A. I'm going to be taking your TA questions. We're going to go through the charts. Not a lot is really going on. I'm still expecting some sideways chop in the market. Nothing has changed about that. I did share on Twitter or X the other day or two that my educated guess is we're not going to start to see significant developments in the market until really the 8th or the 15th, the week of the 8th or 15th in April, more towards the mid to latter part of April. We're not really going to see any significant developments in price. There isn't a lot going on. Price is chopping around. A couple things could happen here in my view. We could continue consolidating in this pennant. This is the 12-hour and eventually break to the upside. We could, another scenario, we could be having some sort of an ABC correction here where we've come down here to 60,000. We've come up here. Maybe we come down to, 58,000, right? The other scenario I could see playing out as price continues to develop within this chart, I could see somewhat of an ascending triangle playing out, right? Where price eventually comes back up here, does one of these things, and begins to break out. So there's a whole host of scenarios. But again, this is more of a granular, lower time frame view, and it doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things. Nothing within these macro views that I've been sharing with you have changed. And so you should remain very convicted in what your overall view of the markets are. Now, again, what I'd like you to do is to drop your TA questions in the comments because that is going to be the emphasis of today's live stream. I'm going to chart any charts that you'd like me to take a look at. Let's see who we have. Oof! I'm corporate today. Let's freaking go. Come on, BTC, don't shit the bed. Greg Black Oil, thank you for the super chat, my friend. Never expected, but always appreciated. Great to see you in the live stream. Welcome in, Donkey. Yeah, man. I can, when I want to actually clean up, I think I can clean up quite well when I actually put a lot of effort into it. Evening from Norway. Why, welcome in, Logical Move. Oh, Greg, we'll discuss later. Todd, super chats are never expected, but always appreciated. Thank you, my friend, for the consistency in your support of the channel. Track, welcome in. Always good to see you. And Oof has a question. That is why we're here. I'm taking a chapter out of the book in today's live stream, Dressing for Success. Let me see who this guy is. I forget his name. I'm subscribed to his channel and listen to his YouTube interviews. He does a really nice job. I've been subscribed to his channel for quite some time. David Lynn, if you guys are not subscribed to David Lynn.
Overall.
Wow, she has a man's voice. I don't know what's up with that. David Lynn, just being honest. David Lynn here, if you're not subscribed to his channel, he does an outstanding job. He's always dressed in a suit for his interviews, so, I figure I'm taking a chapter right out of his book. But let's get into the charts here. So Mara is the first chart we're going to take a look at. I do have this saved. Have we evaluated this since? Oof, God, that's ugly. Let's, I know we've charted this one before. So I'm going to pull up the blank. By the way, really good to be back with everybody. Apologies for being unavailable yesterday, but, you know, I had some really time-sensitive items going on, and just wasn't able to make the live stream yesterday, but it was well worth the effort. I had one flub up today. One flub up. You know, when you prepare so hard for something, and I'm going to digress for one moment as everyone's tuning in. Appreciate the support with the thumbs up. We're charting Mara to start things off here. You know what really sucks is when you prepare really hard for something, you put everything you have into it, and you feel great about it, and you have one flub up, just one. And you don't think it's big in the grand scheme of things, but you keep dwelling on it. The entire thing went great. But that one little flub up, you wonder, is that going to be the difference? You know, and we'll find out. So that's that. I can sit and chew on that for a week. All right, so we haven't charted this one in a while. I can tell because red areas of resistance have now become green areas of support. Of course, we're taking a higher time frame view on this. We're going to take a look at the weekly. Just because there's enough price data here. I mean, this thing goes back to 2013. This is listed on the NASDAQ here, as you can see. Ticker symbol MARA. I know this is one that OOF has routinely asked me to chart. Again, since we bottomed here at the end of 2022, similar to Bitcoin and the rest of the stock market, the general thing, you guys don't want to overcomplicate your life when you're charting something. You really... There are key concepts and fundamental ideas that I routinely explain on this channel. And one of them is to keep it stupid simple. Simplifying your life and not overcomplicating your investment thesis or the way that you evaluate a chart will benefit you tremendously. It will lead to a higher success rate for you, okay? The first thing you want to ask yourself when you're evaluating this chart and asking if it's healthy, higher highs and higher lows. Those are the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative. You can see the higher highs and higher lows coming in here, right? So fundamentally, that's great to see. Now, what is going on with price action at the moment? Well, not surprisingly, look what's going on. There's prior confluence if we go off to the left here. Orange line, by the way, is the 20 simple moving average on the weekly. I like to at least have one moving average up typically to assess how price is performing relative to average performance indicative of whatever time frame we're looking at in a moving average. In this case, 20 simple moving average. So how well is price performing to the prior 20 candlesticks? That's what it's telling us. And right now we're hovering right around that 20 simple moving average. Now, it's not surprising that right around this line, we're running into resistance, right? Because if we look left, which is where we identify price confluence, you can see this is a key area of price confluence right around $31. Okay, so $31 is going to be a pivotal point for us to get above. As long as we respect, look, we can come all the way down here. I could care less. As long as we respect the upsloping line here, we still have a very strong trend reversal to the upside that has been in place since the end of 2022, okay? And this thing with the rest of the stock market and the crypto market looks like it most likely, given the momentum that I continue to expect coming in this year for the rest of the market, looks like it's going to want to come all the way up here. I think it's just a matter of time, in my opinion. I'm not going to overcomplicate this. There's other areas of resistance here, but once we clear 31, the main area you're looking for is like 83, 84. We want to clear this wick up here. Now, if we take a look at the price indicators, the three most common price indicators that I pay attention to, cheers everyone if you're joining me today, was a significant day for me, and I am enjoying this day, not in celebration. I'm not getting ahead of myself, Mamba mentality, but I opened up prisoner wine because I am a prisoner no more. Cheers. Join me with a drink this evening. I'd really appreciate that. Now, the three most common price indicators that I will evaluate on a chart are the stochastic RSI, the RSI, and the MACD. Now, as you can see here on the stochastic RSI, what we want to get is this thing above 20. So momentum is starting to fade in this. And the way that you can tell that momentum is picking back up in Mara, you want to start to see this RSI clear 20 and get a positive cross. So that's what you want to look for there. Not overly concerning on the MACD negative cross. This was inevitable at some point. Key thing is we're above 0, okay? 0 is the trigger line on the MACD. We're above there. So I'm okay with the negative cross. RSI is starting to cool off. We're in neutral territory at 51. So we want some of this momentum to begin to shift back up in the price. And the way that you're going to be able to tell that, you can go to lower time frames to establish that as well. But you're really going to want to see price starting to pick up back to 31. Now, last point I'm going to hit on with this chart. You know, if you've been subscribed to this channel for a while, one of the most simplistic things or basic things, that I've communicated to you within charting is the more times we interact with an area, the weaker it becomes. So $31, we've already hit $31 once, twice, and technically 3 times. Okay, I can't speak for whatever reason. I've been speaking for a while. 3 times. Okay, so we've hit the $31 area like 3 times. Okay, the next time we come up to $31, I'm expecting it to break. There's a much higher likelihood. So that is what I'm seeing in Mara. It looks very, very good. Very, very healthy for an uptrend here. Continuation. Let's see what else we have here. Appreciate the compliments on the dressing here. Nice suit. By the way, soon we'll be losing the tie and having that shirt halfway unbuttoned with 2 Cuban cigars lit in our mouths, brother. I could not agree more. When the time is right and I unexpectedly or suspectingly live stream, you will know it's a momentous occasion, but we're not there yet, my friends. Mamba mentality. Mamba mentality. You know, if I had been a bigger basketball fan in the era that Kobe Bryant was playing, I think the more that I've been studying about his personality and who he was as an individual and how he approached the game of basketball, I think I would have been a huge Kobe Bryant fan. My heyday of watching basketball was back in like the mid to late 90s, watching the Chicago Bulls. I was a big Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan fan. Who wasn't? So, but I have a feeling if I would have paid much closer attention to basketball, Kobe Bryant, the more I've been learning about him, love his mentality. Mamba mentality, man. Mamba mentality. Let me get into the questions here. Donkey has a question on XEP. Guys, did we just take a look at that the other day? I feel like Electra Protocol, right? I feel like we just looked at this. Maybe we didn't. I don't know. Or maybe you had asked this question and we didn't have time for it. That could have been it. So Bittrex is no more. We cannot use the Bittrex exchange. We had looked at it on there. Not a whole lot of price data on Mexi. Again, now the other thing beyond a general uptrend that I'm noticing on XEP, ticker symbol XEP, not only are there higher highs and higher lows, I'm noticing this rounding bottom and this parabolic price action that's coming in, right? So one of the things that you want to use to assess the relative strength within your chart that you could actually draw, and I've done this on several charts, to assess the relative strength, okay? Now, it doesn't mean if we break this that it's the end of the world, but what you could do, you can draw something like this, because to me, it looks like we have entered a parabola, okay? Which would make sense with the rest of the market, right? So if we've entered a parabola, we're going to essentially obey this general line, right? So great price action coming in here, but the key is just the higher highs and higher lows. So evaluating price data, the first thing I'm going to ask myself is, on a pullback, which we're seeing in the market right now, where is there price confluence to denote where we could see price pulling back to? And so for that, what I want to do, especially for a volatile asset like this, I want to create a region of support. The region of support that I'm seeing for this asset on a 3-day chart, I'm actually going to put this all the way down here on the bodies. Now, typically what I like to do when I'm drawing areas of price confluence It's more significant to me if I can get the touch on the candle body versus the candle wick. The wick expresses that volatility we couldn't get past, but the body is where we resided and landed on. So that's typically what I like to do. So really this region, I want to see this region hold here. Let's take off actually this moving average. This is the main region that I want to see hold on ticker symbol XEP right here, okay? I just want to hold this region somewhere between, you can read the values off to the right. In fact, this is, if I do that, it's going to reset the chart. I hate charts like this because you can't, 0.00065 to 0.00095. This is your area, right? So ideally what I want to see price, apologies, I also have a cold on top of things. Respect this area before continuing to the upside. Now, if we go to the price indicators on the 3-day, you can see similar to the last chart we looked at on Mara, we're starting to cool off here. So we just want to see momentum begin to pick up on some of these relative strength and stochastic RSI indicators, as well as the MACD is just starting to cool off a bit. So we had a monumental rise in price. And again, I don't need to draw the areas of price confluence here for resistance. You can see where it's at. It's right up here. The name of the game is breaking 2 cents. Or 0.2 cents, all right? We need to break to 0.2 cents. Thank you for the question. Love to see people coming into the live stream from all parts of the world. So, for example, Logical Move, I love that you come on the live stream and you share that you're from Norway. Again, you will find this routinely if you tune into this live stream, that I will very routinely go out of my way to digress talking about charts and talking about the fact that I love people showing up from outside the United States. I think it's even cool when people show up from fucking Texas or Idaho, anywhere outside of Florida, or even my home state up north. So feel free to drop a comment if you feel inclined to do so and share where you're from. Track, my brother. You got a question on Anchor, huh? I think my brother had a question on this chart not too long ago. I might have charted this one out. If I have, I think I charted this out and shared it with him. Oh, there's that raging bull indicator from Tony. So we got the 50 moving average. It looks like I'm looking at this on a weekly. This is Anchor. I haven't done any analysis on this in a while. So we're going to look at this on a higher time frame on the weekly. We're going to stick to the 50 and the I don't have the 20. Are you serious? Why the hell don't I have the 20 simple moving average on here? Well, we're going to fix that. I have the Bollinger Bands. All right, so I have the 20 and 50. Great to see the 20 is crossing above the 50. Now, we had the 20 cross the 50 here, but one of the key things you want to look for when you get a moving average, a lower one crossing above a higher one, you want to see the general direction of both moving averages. You can see here we were still slanted down. Here we've evened out and started to trend up, which is a lot more bullish. Both are starting to trend up. The last time we did this, we had a significant rise in price. You can see it occurred back here. Of course, it was very early on, but still we had a significant rise in price. So great to see. Actually, let's mix things up. Let's look at the price indicators first. So on the weekly, what am I seeing? The RSI is at a really healthy level at 69, just below overbought. Of course, again, a lot of these crypto assets, you're going to see the greatest rates of appreciation when we're overbought with the RSIs above 70. A lot of people who have not been in this space for a while get very confused, and they think that when they look at a relative strength index that's above 70, we're overbought, and I should start selling. First off, the first thing you have to understand is things can remain overbought and oversold for extended periods of time. You cannot rely on one indicator to tell you with certainty what is going to happen with the chart, within the chart. And secondly, the other thing, if you've studied this market for quite some time, what you would realize is that once the relative strength index, especially on some of these higher time frames, starts to get above 70, it signals a massive move to the upside. So keep that in mind. Price indicators look good, though. We can get off that. So we're on the weekly. Where do I want to find support on this chart? So if we do end up going lower, which is a strong possibility. Oh, man, I hope my nose clears up at some point. Yeah, I like a nice wide range. This is a nice wide range here between 4.8 cents, we'll call it 4.9 cents, and 3.5 cents. This is your region of support here. So, theoretically, price could come all the way down here, and I could care less because you got all these higher lows coming in here. Great buying opportunity, in my opinion. And then you also have the higher highs coming in. And actually, if you want to take a more macro perspective view of this chart, you could actually say low, high, higher low, higher high. Okay, so it just depends how you want to look at it. But either way, it looks like we're in the midst of a trend reversal to the upside. Obviously, key areas of resistance, it's going to be where we wicked up to. I'm sure there's price confluence. If we look left, I don't even need to look left, but let's look left. Yeah, right around this area. I mean, right about there. So we wicked above there. So really the name of the game is, and I'll cast a wide net here, we want to start pushing above 6.3 cents and 10 cents, which also another concept that I hit on very routinely on this channel are psychological levels. So 10 cents is also a psychological level. So that's what I'm seeing in the chart for areas of support and resistance. Thank you for the question. We're also going to have a hard stop at 30 minutes, so make sure you get your TA questions in. I'm going to take them in the order they were received, unless if anyone who has super chatted has sent me questions. Obviously, I'm going to prioritize those questions. Speaking of which, I see Greg has a question here, aka a black oil. Oh man, my eyes are starting to hurt. I may need to put on the glasses. I'm going to get really corporate then. You want me to put on these glasses? They make me look super smart. Really fits the bill for an actuary if I put the glasses on. All right, let's see what we got here, Greg. What question do you have for me? CBG, you see any chance we actually never break 100,000 this run? Absolutely. Now, Greg, it's interesting that you're asking this question for two reasons. You're a regular viewer of this channel, so it's something I've routinely hit on. But also, it's curious you asked that question because one of the things that I speak to routinely on this channel is there's no certainties in life besides living and dying, right? I wish there was a certainty on what transpired before this live stream, but we're going to have to wait. Patience, patience, patience. Yeah. Oh, God. Anyway, sorry, I'm digressing. Absolutely, there is a possibility that we underwhelm and Bitcoin tops at 93,000 or 95,000. You have to keep in mind, I want to stress this, and I've stressed this very routinely on this channel. $100,000 is a psychological level. The one thing that makes me nervous about breaking $100,000 is that a lot of people think that it is a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin's going to break $100,000. Now, again, this is why I want to emphasize this video. If you have not watched it, this video right here, peak alert, 6 sell signals. And I know you know this, Greg. I'm reiterating this for the benefit of the audience. That's what you need to focus on. Whether you agree or disagree with the 6 signals I'm using, if you want to use an alternative approach, go for it. But I highly, highly stress to you to stick to something unemotional that is empirically based, that you have set out today that tells you when to sell. And I encourage that to not be solely based on a price target. You can have a price range. I don't think there's anything wrong with basing your sell strategy on a range. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. In fact, I had someone reach out to me recently who I actively got involved in crypto, just a small amount of money, and I said to simplify their life, I'm never offering them financial advice, but I'll provide them like a broad range of where I see things going, and they don't have a lot invested. And I said, I would, you can take it or leave it, and this is where I would suggest selling things. So just because it's just easier for that person. So I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But one of the fallacies that I think an investor could run into is if they think it is a foregone conclusion that Bitcoin will reach $100,000 or higher. I am prepared for a scenario where Bitcoin underwhelms. And if Bitcoin underwhelms, the rest of the market will underwhelm. Bitcoin is going to be that navigator. If Bitcoin exceeds my expectations, my altcoins, most of them, now some of it's going to be driven by narrative, strength in the chart, etc. But at least I'm very confident in the portfolio I have. Most of my altcoins are going to be hitting higher price targets that I have. If Bitcoin hits somewhere in the middle, my altcoins, most of them are going to be hitting somewhere in the middle of my price targets, right? So I hope that was helpful, Greg. But I would keep that in mind, that's why I'm using my sell indicators, empirically based in evidence that is based on the historical data we have, and I am basing it on those sell indicators to sell out. Whether those topping signals come in, and look, if 3 of 6 start firing green while Bitcoin's at 93,000, you fucking better believe I'm starting to sell some of my Bitcoin. I'm leaving it to the data. I'm not going to get wrapped up in all the emotions and hype of the market. I'm not doing that. And I'm also not stuck to one narrative based on the timing of something topping or a price level of something topping. Evan, good to see you in here. Nice to see you're being pretty chill with the comments. I appreciate that. Appreciate that, my friend. You know what, Evan? You routinely comment on DXY, and I got to give you some props for. I know I gave you a little bit of a hard time the other day. I think it was a little bit, warranted, but I appreciate your engagement. And you routinely comment on the DXY, so I do want to speak to the DXY here. So we can see, for the moment, the DXY is beginning to break out of this falling wedge here on the 2-week. Of course, the 2-week doesn't finish printing until Monday, so we'll have to see how this candlestick prints. But we're right on the line here. But, and if we look at a daily... Yeah. Again, guys, I'm open to the possibility I could be dead wrong. This chart's getting a little messy here. I'm going to have to revisit this chart. I'm very open always to the possibility I could be wrong because I've been wrong before, okay? So I don't want to exercise hubris in this market and be egotistical and think I'm going to get calls always correct. I routinely come out on this channel and indicate to you when I've had bad calls, right? I think that's part of being an authentic, genuine educator in this space is, hey, I've made mistakes. The important thing is you learn from it and you move forward. I've also had great calls, and I share those with you as well. But for the DXY, again, there's nothing that's changing here. I mean, we're topping right out, at 105, 106? Yeah, 105. We're topping right out at 105, just like I expected. And I expect us to revisit some of these lower areas we're going to be sub 100. I would be shocked if the DXY does not get sub 100. I see the dollar, again, this moving average, it's like a magnet. I would expect at the very least for the DXY on the 2-week to revisit this 200 simple moving average. Now, again, the 200 simple moving average is going to continue to evolve as price data evolves. So you're going to have a line essentially. It looks like at the current rate, it's going like this, okay? So you're going to have an evolving line, all right? You can see here. So at the very least, I see the DXY plummeting to 98. We're at 105. I could see it going lower, though. I have lower targets between 92 and, 94. So nothing has changed there. In fact, if we pull up the 50... Yeah, we're below the 50 simple moving average on the 2-week. It's acting as resistance. So thank you for calling that out, Evan. Let's see. We have more questions coming in. Apologies in advance that I'm not going to get to all these questions. Good news, though. Good news. Tomorrow is Thursday. And Thursday is also a TA Q&A day. So any questions that I do not get to today, come back to the live stream tomorrow and we can answer those questions then. Let me quickly get down the list here. Apologies that I can't reply to everyone. I really want to keep the time strict today to 30 minutes, and we're already almost at 30 minutes here. Let me see. What do I want to chart here? Fuck. I don't have time for all these questions. I apologize, guys. I see some questions coming in. I don't have time for all these. I see David. I see I see logical move. Like I said, I see you guys. Like, it's not that I don't see you. I just don't have time for all the questions today, which I sincerely feel bad about and apologize for. But there's only so much time, right? Jorge's coming in with a question. Thank you for the support on the thumbs up, guys. I do appreciate it. I will quickly comment on this. BCH will ride the coattails of Bitcoin just like Litecoin will. So expect some general synergy that's created between price movements of Bitcoin Cash relative to Bitcoin just like Litecoin. Now, they may not move exactly in tangent with one another, but you will see some strong moves from both of those as Bitcoin continues moving up. My face when we get... Yeah, to Oof's point here, real quick, I do want to emphasize on this point. Actually, guys, no, I do not do consultations for exit strategies, although I am appreciative of the question and what's the word? Flattered that you asked. But no, all of the content, and guys, let me be even more transparent with you. There aren't things that I'm not sharing with you that I'm not sharing with my family, or stated differently, because my family's invested. There aren't things I'm telling my family that I don't tell you. Like, I'm transparent with everyone. Who you see and the verbiage and the language and the indicators and everything I'm sharing with you, this is what I share with other people. It's no different. So just utilize the knowledge that I share publicly and use that to your advantage. But to Oof's point, this is where we're going to end it here. Come back tomorrow. If I did not get to your TA questions, like Jorge, Logical, all you guys, come back tomorrow and I'll get to your questions. I'll prioritize mentally. I'll try to remember who I didn't get to. But real quick to Oof's point here, and we'll end on this. What we really are waiting for is that green Jesus candle in Bitcoin. Again, I can't emphasize this enough. When you do wake up, whenever it is, I want you to remember me saying this. I've been here long enough, okay, that I feel extremely confident making this assertion. Remember me saying this. When you wake up, now Bitcoin's been doing this, right? People are getting really just frustrated, right? But when it starts riding this line, and then all of a sudden you wake up, and Bitcoin is up here, and we've made, doesn't look like a big move, but it is. And Bitcoin's made a large move up to 78,000 or 76,000, and there's a 10% plus candlestick on Bitcoin. That is the moment. Again, Mamba mentality. But that is the moment to get very inside, ready for this moment where you're going to see altcoins begin to explode. And I can't emphasize that enough. I can't tell you the exact week. I can't tell you the exact day. But what I am telling you is what to watch for. And specifically, you need to watch Bitcoin. Okay? You need to watch Bitcoin. And hopefully, I am available when that moment does happen to live stream on the spot to kind of share what's going on within the charts. But that's what you need to watch for. Guys, I really appreciate the support on the channel. It's been hopefully a very productive and moment-changing event for me today, so we'll get into that later. But hopefully a big day for me. But guys, really appreciate the support. I hope to see everyone back here tomorrow. We'll be live streaming tomorrow. I will be back here on Friday. I'll be back all next week. And tomorrow I will be taking your TA questions. So thank you for the support, everyone. And until next time, 4 a.m. on a random morning. Never know. I'm up at 4:30, 5 o'clock. Until next time, everybody, let's all spread awareness and let's carry the education forward. Cheers, everybody. Salute. If you haven't had a Prisoner wine, go check it out. Red Blend, very good. Get it from Costco, relatively inexpensive. 45, 46 bucks where I'm at.